and gentlemen, WBM and Trinity Entertainment, sponsored by Advest and I'm Not Vanilla, are proud to present the main event of the evening. 10 3-minute rounds for the English Welterweight Championship, live and exclusive on Boxnation via YouTube. Your officials have been appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your supervisor this evening is Mr. Ben Harmsworth. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Jason Booth. And your 3 judges at ringside are Mr. Terry O'Connor, Mr. Sean McAvoy, and Mr. Phil Edwards. And when the action begins, your referee in the middle is Mr. Chris Jones. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, in the red corner, with a record of 11 wins, 1 by way of knockout and 1 loss, weighing in 146 pounds 9 ounces, and tonight he wears the black and gold shorts with white trim. Please welcome from Wolverhampton, the Kundalini King, Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards. And moving across the ring into the blue corner stands the champion, unbeaten with 9 wins, 4 by way of knockout to his name, weighing in 146 pounds 5 ounces, and tonight he wears the black and gold shorts. Please welcome from Maidstone, Kent, the English welterweight champion, Sean Noakes. Your referee, Chris Jones, now gives his final instructions to both boxers.
Spoke to you both in the dressing room. You know exactly what I want. Obey my word of command at all times. Defend yourself at all times. All your punches above the waist. Any questions, blue? Any questions, red? Touch gloves. Good luck, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 3-minute rounds for the English Welterweight Championship.
For the first round.
The main event here tonight at the York Hall, Bethnal Green, live on Boxnation YouTube channel, as Sean Noakes seeks now to become a dominant English champion in the welterweight division. Noakes defended in fairly impressive fashion, I must say, December 2024 against Matthew Rennie. He's been made into a championship fighter with big wins over Indabasi and the victory over Rennie, and defended in style up to this point, Richie. Against him tonight, bag of tricks he may be, Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards, an often erratic path to a big career opportunity it may have been, but could he have something up his sleeve tonight to trouble Sean Noakes?
Edwards is no mug, Paul, and he's really turned his life around, hasn't he? He was in, he'll admit it himself, he was in one of the worst gangs in Wolverhampton at one point, and you know, he left that sort of scene and he got his act together, and yeah, he's turned to the spiritual side of things, but he really has turned his life around. He's got a great relationship with Richie Carter. I know Richie really well. He used to box as a middleweight when I was boxing, from Wolverhampton. Good kid, solid kid, and he's got a great relationship with him. So he's played a massive part in turning him around as well. And you know, he's decent. He's only lost the 1 contest in his last one against Ethan James. So yes, he's a decent southpaw. So this is a little bit of a test for Sean Noakes.
Actually had more pro fights than Sean Noakes, and one of the other themes of the night, fellas getting a second shot at making it. Another of the new elements in this new landscape in professional boxing. The opportunities for the guys who do the business are manifest all around us these days. Sean readily admits that the little brother Sam was totally focused on his boxing when Sean maybe lost the appetite for a while. There was an odd mention of a pub and a nightclub in there somewhere when they were a couple of kids in Maidstone. Understandable, but totally back on track. Been really impressed dogged, determined, methodical, Richie, over the last 3-4 years?
Yeah, I think in his last couple of contests as well, because he's gone 10 rounds in his last 2 contests, then he's starting to mature a little bit now, Sean Noakes. Obviously at 29, still lots of time left for him. Excuse me, but he's not that experienced, but that's what I mean by that. Those last 2 contests, Paul, will have done him the world of good, going that 10 rounds. Really, really important in this stage of his career.
Noakes, never been one to rush it, had a good look at what he's facing tonight. Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards from Wolverhampton, and our special contributor tonight is Eko Essuman, who has been the top-ranked British welterweight over the last few years. How are you seeing it?
I'm seeing it like they were both looking to see what they could get away with. I think Sean was sending the feelers out there, seeing what kind of a southpaw he had in front of him. Osbourne, he had a high guard. He was taking a lot on his guard. It was only towards the end of the round that he started to let some of his shots go a little bit. I think with them both warming into it with the number of rounds they have, it's a smart thing to do. I think we will see this match unfold as the rounds go by.
I wonder if
Quarters,
Jermaine Osbourne
10
Edwards trying to
seconds.
score a little point by standing up between the rounds.
Seconds
It
out.
could be something to make him seem like he's more fit than he is.
Round 2.
Yeah, exactly. Mickey Barrett and Alec Wilkie were looking over the rope in the other corner at him going, what's he up to over there? So round 2, a scouting mission by the champion in the opening round.
Not a lot in that opening round either, Paul. You know, it could have gone either way. I thought Noakes probably just nicked it, but certainly not a lot in the round at all. I think he'll soon realise he's probably got to box at a faster tempo here. I think the slower tempo will suit Osbourne-Edwards, because you can see these attacks coming. So this is where Noakes seems to do his better work when he's up close, but to do that you've got to box at a fast tempo because you're in punching range. So for him it's short and mid-range. I think he'll soon work that out, that if he lets Osbourne-Edwards get into a rhythm behind that jab and keeps it mid to long, then Edwards could have some success. So I think Noakes has got to up the work rate to get to Osbourne-Edwards, who's very capable on the outside with those crisp long jabs.
The Noakes family here in numbers as usual, including Mom. Don't know how she does it, quite honestly. She's always there.
Yeah, great family, aren't they? And supporting each other, and Mum's always there supporting her boys.
And if in doubt, Richie, if it comes down to it, Sam and Sean, they're 2 tough kids, aren't they?
Yeah, they are
if
indeed.
it becomes that kind of a fight.
Exactly, yeah, they are.
They won't shirk that side of it. Still from the outside, Osbourne-Edwards, not as seasoned in terms of the level of his opposition. He's having a good hard look himself at Noakes. Noakes is not giving him many angles to work off, Richie.
No, he's not, and Osbourne-Edwards has just got to get his timing right, like with that shot there. Keep the elbows tucked in nicely. There's a nice little left uppercut reply there from Edwards also. So, like I said, I just think he'll prefer a slower pace so we can see the attacks coming. And Noakes, for me, has got to do the opposite. He's got to double up his jab a little bit more and, yeah, let his hands go when he's in close.
That was impressive. Noakes is beginning to show us what he's got. I'm not certain that Osbourne-Edwards is going to be comfortable, Richie, if the tempo does go up.
That's what I mean, Paul. I think it'll suit Noakes better, and certainly it'll give Osbourne-Edwards more problems if it's a quicker pace.
He's not to be overlooked, the challenger here tonight, however. It's only 1 defeat, remember.
That was a nice shot on the inside there. A little short left up from Noakes. Osbourne-Edwards just allowed him to get close then. That was a nice, nice left-hand lead there with that hook.
So it's beginning to warm up. Just a reminder to everybody that the defeat, Eko, for Osbourne-Edwards was over 10 hard rounds against another capable operator, Ethan James. At the moment, I sense that this could become the same kind of a fight.
Yeah, quite possibly. Although we did have a busier start to that second round. Noakes, as Richie mentioned and you both mentioned, needs to break that distance and really start to ramp up his work rate, but maybe he wants to set into that as he knows how many rounds he has in front of him. Osbourne does look like he does have some physicality to him when they're both on the inside. I saw a little few shoves and some good heavy counters, but he needs to up his work rate if he wants to make a dent in the match too.
Corners,
I
10 seconds.
The cleaner work is coming from Sean,
Seconds
as
out.
well as the amount of it.
Round 3.
Thank you, Echo. Haven't got time to mention all the other titles that Echo Esserman has picked up at welterweight, in addition to the historic British and Commonwealth welterweight titles. The English champion Noakes walking his man down, the southpaw Osbourne-Edwards. He certainly worked him out now, hasn't he, Richie, after that initial reconnaissance period?
Knows he's got to get up close, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's the way you do that. Certainly he needs probably a little bit more head movement, does Noakes. What he's trying to do now, he's just trying to draw the lead of Osbourne-Edwards, and then he's trying to then come back with counter. There you go, right on cue. So you've seen Osbourne-Edwards throw a shot, and then Noakes very quickly just comes back with the counter.
Footwork's been really good, actually, so far tonight from Noakes.
Yeah, he's quick movements in with the feet.
Yes.
He's got to watch the switch, because occasionally he goes from orthodox to southpaw. He's got to watch that, because when you're doing that pull, your feet will always come square at some point, and that's when you can get caught with a shot and then you're off balance. But he's quick with his feet. He makes the choices, and then he goes and then throws the punches. Like I say, quick movement, quick hand speed, I think will suit him better.
He's just started to pressure Osbourne-Edwards a little bit, because he's getting his left boot outside of the right boot of the southpaw.
I think what we probably need to see from Osbourne-Edwards is occasionally push Noakes back. You don't see that very often. It's mainly Noakes that's doing the front running. So for Osbourne-Edwards, then just occasionally just remind the judges that, you know, he's well in it, and just push the opponent back. And that's what I think he could do with, because he's constantly sort of going backwards, or he's holding his feet. He's not really coming forward, and he needs to do that a little bit better.
3 scoring judges, remember, for this 10 rounds English welterweight title. This is Gray, McAvoy and O'Connor. Cannot get the shots off at the moment, as Osbourne-Edwards.
No, and also Noakes at the moment is probably leading a little bit too much with the backhand paw. So he's got to use his lead hand a little bit more, just to measure that distance before he throws that right hand. He's falling short occasionally with it. Remember, in the orthodox southpaw situation, the rear hands of both boxers have to travel a little bit further to the target. That was better. Then you got the distance right.
It would appear as though he is impressing the judges. My error, forgive me. Phil Edwards, of course, is the 3rd judge tonight, along with Terry O'Connor and Sean McAvoy. Our expert judge to my left, Echo Esserman. How are you scoring it first, actually?
I think Noakes is up at the moment, definitely. As Richie mentioned, he keeps shifting his weight, but also showing Osbourne that he can, in fact, attack him from both stances. And Osbourne looks very calm and collected, but he needs to light a fire in himself, because often a good defense is a really good offense, and if he sets about that, it'll make the match and a bit more of a good contest.
You make a great point. As a veteran of many championship rounds at this stage in your career, when you're dropping 3 or 4 rounds, you're putting yourself under so much pressure, aren't you?
Seconds
you're
out.
putting yourself under pressure to win it back, and then that's when you can
Round
make silly
4.
mistakes.
So 3 in. Would it be fair to say, Richie, that I don't think many would give Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards one of those rounds just yet?
No, I've got Sean Noakes 3 up. There wasn't a lot in the first round, but the last 2 rounds, I think, again, fairly close, but you can see that Noakes has probably done the better work. And like I said, we need Osbourne-Edwards just to push Noakes back a little bit and be a little bit more competitive and start throwing a few more shots. But nevertheless, he's still in it and still fairly dangerous. He's certainly someone you can't write off at this stage. Decent technique from Osbourne-Edwards. But I'd just like to see him do a little bit more, Paul. And probably, there's a lot of singles coming from him. I mean, you know, let's double up a little bit, maybe 2s and 3s occasionally.
The problem with that, though, Richie, is, you know, there's not much evidence to say he's a really sharp puncher. There's only one stoppage victory in his pro career to date.
Yeah, very much so. Not a big puncher at all. But a tough kid. And like I say, he's got decent technique, but needs to throw more shots. Punches in bunches, I think.
Settling into his rhythm, Sean Noakes. And looking mighty impressive so far.
Yeah, and you tend to get the feeling now that he is gaining more confidence, Noakes, and he feels that he's the one that's got to up the pace and start doing something, because he probably feels that Osbourne-Edwards is just content to stay on the outside. Lovely lead left uppercut that was from Noakes. So I think Noakes is he's taking the initiative here, up in the pace and starting to just let his hands go a little bit more here.
For me, though, Richie, you know better than I, but it is the footwork which is the key to this fight. The southpaw style is not a problem for Noakes.
No. Well, he moves the feet in nice and quickly. One shot he's got to watch out for is that little left uppercut from Osbourne-Edwards.
Yeah, but we're not seeing it enough, are we? And I'm not sure there's a lot of conviction in it, really.
No, but having said that, Paul, very often a punch can be doubled up weight-wise if the opponent's coming forward.
Or drops into it.
Yeah, and Sean Noakes does that occasion, doesn't he? Sometimes his feet will cross, he'll come forward very quickly to surprise the attack. Look, he got away with that there, but that was an example then. If you could have just connected with that left uppercut, and that's a decent shot because Noakes is coming forward.
That's why I think he's got to believe in it a bit more, Osbourne-Edwards.
Yeah, he has, yeah, I agree.
It's a bit of an afterthought at the moment. But boxing from the outside is not going to work here from the look of it.
No, and that's what I say. He's quite content to stay on the outside, and that's a good shot from Noakes. And Noakes, I think, is feeling that he's the one that should up the... This fight is there for the taking. That's why I think he's up in the work rate.
Did drop again just with the very last shot of the round, but again, no harm befalls Sean Noakes. He walks back to his corner with a smile on his face. Is he right to be smiling so far, Echo?
Yes, I would say so, because I would say to Osbourne, he has to remember, you can't just beat a champion, you have to beat the belt off them.
You cannot nick it. Dead right.
You can't just nick it. So Osbourne needs to turn the screw, but Sean's shapes are looking very great and awkward, and that's possibly part of what's putting off Osbourne at the moment. He did drop a good shot in at the dying second of the round, but I don't think that will bother Sean, seeing as he's had the minute between the round to rest and recoup anyway.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Fair amount of know-how in both
Seconds
corners,
out.
Burke and Wilkie for Noakes. And as
Round
Richie has
5.
mentioned, Richie Carter in the challenger's corner tonight. Carter once the Midlands area super middleweight champion. He's got Ollie Cooper holding that title now. He fights in Wolverhampton on Saturday night.
Yeah, he's got a decent stable of boxers, Richie Carter. There's some good kids, and he's a good coach. He's Richie, puts a lot into the community, and he's done a lot for the amateur boxing as well, so he's a good kid, Richie Carter, nice fella. And a boxing man through and through.
Retired at the age of 22, I believe, Carter.
Yeah, I know Richie quite well, and he said that he couldn't stay disciplined. You know, he liked to go out, and you know, he was quite an exciting fighter, was Richie. But he said he just couldn't stick with the discipline, and that's what you've got to do, Paul. That's so important. Being a pro, you've got to be disciplined, and you've got to train hard and live the good life, mate.
That at times has been in question from Osbourne-Edwards' point of view, but looking to seize this opportunity tonight. At the moment, I'm afraid to say the opportunity is slipping through his grasp, the way Noakes has fought through the first half of this.
Well, I think Noakes is probably waiting for Osbourne-Edwards to up the pace and really have a go, but it seems to be the same tempo, the same pace from the challenger. And he's quite content, like I say, just to see these rounds out. Maybe he thinks he'll tire Sean Noakes out, I don't know. But we've got to see a tempo change from Osbourne-Edwards if he's going to win the contest, because he is behind.
Did move off the ropes very nicely indeed there, the challenger. It's been an easy one for the referee Chris Jones so far. Keep your shape, they're saying to Osbourne-Edwards from the corner. He's reaching a lot with that left hand, isn't he, Rich?
Yeah, he is,
not scoring very often. That was a very solid right hand. There was a bit of a double effect on that one, Richie, actually, in favour of Noakes.
I've often thought about Osbourne-Edwards, Paul. There doesn't seem to be a lot of power in his backhand. He might be a right-handed southpaw, you see. And when he first got into the gym, most coaches would turn you, if you're right-handed, would turn you around as an orthodox boxer. But if you look at the power in his left hand, there doesn't seem to be a lot of power there. It's all with the right hand. See, there doesn't seem to be any real intention with that backhand when he throws it. And it's the lead hand that does all his best work. So like I say, he might be a right-handed southpaw.
Noakes dominant throughout. In recent weeks, we've seen Sam Noakes defending British Commonwealth and European titles against Ryan Walsh at lightweight, looking more and more mature. I'm tempted to say the same about Big Brother tonight, what we've witnessed so far, Echo.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was thinking Osbourne was trying to start to throw maybe a few more lefts in that round. Maybe Richie was right, and he wants to pile the pressure on in the second half of the fight. But I feel like Sean has built up a nice accruement of rounds now, and he's got that confidence behind him, so I think he's going to himself start to turn the screw.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds
Full
out.
focus in the Noakes corner. It's gone very well so far.
Round 6.
The plans of Osbourne-Edwards and his camp are not coming to fruition here.
I think Noakes knows he's ahead, and his corner, that will be telling him that to keep his spirits high. He's boxing well, but at some stage he might decide to go to the next level and up the pace himself. Noakes. At the moment he's winning, yes, but he may, like I say, just want to go through the gears and test Osbourne-Edwards in terms of his fitness, because we know that both the Noakeses, they're known for their fitness, real fit kids.
Yeah.
And there's an old saying, you don't leave it in the gym, Paul. When you box, you let your hands go. And so that's what we might see from him at some stage. He might just go through the gears.
That would be interesting if he were to do that, because it would lay down a calling card to all the 12-round fighters that might be coming his way. This is 10 rounds tonight for the English title. Dominating performance so far tonight from Sean Noakes. Does start to up it impressively. Osbourne-Edwards is giving ground and taking a lot of shots here.
Yeah, some good work, especially with the left hook from Noakes. Osbourne-Edwards got to keep that right hand nice and high, because that left hook's getting through. There it is again, look, he's trying to get that shot home, and that's probably the more dangerous punch that's going across the target, remember. The right hand, Osbourne-Edwards can see it coming, he'll take that shot, but that left hook, it's out of the line of vision, and that's the more dangerous punch here.
Richie, we may have found out what they were saying to him in the corner. Listen, just work your way into the round, and then about halfway through, open up.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
Well, we spoke about it, didn't we? That we may see him just up the pace, and he's certainly gone through the gears in this round.
And doesn't he look good doing this?
Yeah, he knows he's got to get up close, you see, and we said that right from the word go, that this could be a contest where he'd have to go short to mid, get up close to the opponent and up the pace. We said it right from the word go, and now he's doing it.
This so far tonight is a performance which I think tells us that there's a lot more to come from Sean Noakes in terms of where his ambition should lie. He is the boss in every department in this fight.
Yeah, he just got caught with a little short left uppercut from Osbourne-Edwards. Nice little reply from him there. But nevertheless, yeah, the momentum is with the champion. This has been a good, dominant round, and he's certainly upped the tempo here.
There's just not enough in the shots of Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards to stop the rhythm of Sean Noakes. Was that his best round for you, Echo?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking that definitely would have been one of his best rounds when he turned the screw, as we said the round before, and you could tell that him coming forward and playing with Osbourne's guard was definitely making a difference. Osbourne did have his little successes with a few good counters, however, I think Sean's momentum is definitely on his side.
Every fighter has nights when it feels easy, when you feel on top of your game. What is that like?
Oh, you have to train, so even on your worst night, it still guarantees a win. Your worst night is a good performance. You can't train to perfection, but in my gym,
Corners,
my
10
trainer always tells me
seconds.
it's not about what you can do when you're fresh, it's about what you can do when you're tired.
Seconds
Brilliant
out.
insight. Thank you very much indeed. But so far it's not hard, it's
Round
straightforward
7.
for Sean Noakes. And already we're into the 7th round. 4 to go. Even if he were to win all 4, I don't know that it's going to be enough from here, Richie, for Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards.
Yeah, it's getting really, really tough now, isn't it, for Osbourne-Edwards? He's lost most of the rounds, if not all of them. And in that last round there were some bad signs for him and good signs for Sean Noakes. So let's see how Osbourne-Edwards responds now.
Gets a little round of applause for his endeavours there in that exchange. That's what they need to see from him. There's a tremendous bond between himself and Richie Carter, I understand, at the Wolverhampton Boxing Club. Everybody else shut their doors on me, is what Osbourne-Edwards said. A good win to claim the Midlands area title. That was half a division down at super lightweight.
Yeah, that was against Jamie Stewart from Stoke. I was actually at the show that last night in Jamie Stewart box. He's a real good, tough kid, Stewart, from Stoke. Trained by Scott Lawton, an old pro that boxed Amir Khan once. For Jamie Stewart, so that was a good win for Osbourne-Edwards, winning the Midland title and giving some experience as well over the 10 rounds distance. And that's what I say. These two are fairly similar in their experience, Paul. Over 10 rounds, they've both been 10 rounds a couple of times.
Yes.
And the same number of contests. So that's why it's a good even match on paper. This is.
There's still the possibility, of course, that this is just a bit too soon for Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards in terms of exposure at this level, Richie. I know he's 35 years of age, but we also know there's been a lot of missed years. But he might come out of this a much better operator.
Absolutely, of course he will, because he's a positive kid, you know, and I speak to Richie about him, and he's telling me, you know, he's a very positive lad. So even after his first defeat against Ethan James, he's back in the gym, he's learning, and at 35, you know, he's turned his life around. So he'll be positive no matter what happens here tonight. He's got a very positive outlook of things, which is great, you know, and you learn from it. You know what, Paul, sometimes in boxing, you lose a contest, you think you're going backwards, but you actually go forwards.
Yeah.
So the experience of this, being at your core, in front of the lights, in front of the cameras, against a good opponent, yeah, he will improve no matter what tonight.
I am seeing a man who is capable of higher honours than the English title here, this performance tonight from Sean Noakes. And I think that's something that Francis Warren has been saying about him for a year or two, that there's a lot of untapped talent. We know, obviously, about Sam, but maybe Big Brother's catching him up.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a quieter round for Sean this round, to be fair. He put a lot into the previous round, and that was a quieter round, a better round for Osbourne-Edwards.
Did he get one back at last, do you think, Echo? The challenger?
Yeah, possibly. I think Sean might have taken a round off in that round. He might be recouping for this next round, 8, 9, 10 coming up. Osbourne did have more success but if he wants to really stamp his name in this match, he really needs to turn his screw and put a lot more into it at the moment.
Hasn't used the stool once in the other corner.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Yeah, it can be a psychological boost, can't it? That?
Seconds out.
Fair play to him, he's fit like.
Round 8.
Noakes can almost see the finish line in a race where he's well in front. 3 to go. Better moments, yes, for Osbourne-Edwards in that last round. But he's got to go for it. 1 or 2 shots, big shots, were they to land? Who knows? There may still be time to turn it round.
Yeah, he had a bit of success in that last round, so let's see if he's going to be confident in this round and start pushing Noakes back a little bit more. Certainly a better round and a quieter round for Noakes that last round.
He's tired, they're
Yeah,
telling
there you go.
Osbourne-Edwards.
So maybe Noakes is just feeling the pace a little bit.
It's a possibility, Richie,
Yeah.
the way he sat on the stool at the end of that last round, Sean Noakes. But all well and good, he's a proven operator at this distance. He'll find a way through it, and really the question surely is whether Osbourne-Edwards will now have the self-belief to try and expose any questionable
Well, the thing
fitness.
is, he's losing the contest, and he should know that, and the corner will know that. So he's really got to pour it on now, Osbourne-Edwards. This is a little bit better from him.
It
Again,
is a little bit better, Richie.
Just a lack of power in that backhand pull.
Yeah.
Just a lack of power. I think his jab, his lead hand, is a more powerful shot than the backhand, to be quite honest. Occasionally he's a little bit too flat-footed, is Osbourne-Edwards. Just needs to get on his toes a little bit more. But nevertheless, he's a little bit more confident in this round again. So it's making for a good contest, but as we say that, Noakes goes through the gears better.
Now he's back at it. And he's wobbled his man. The straight right hand. Osbourne-Edwards didn't take it well, and Noakes goes for the finish. The referee, Chris Jones, has taken a close look, and the referee stops it. Sean Noakes suddenly exploded into life again after a little lull, and he produces a very impressive stoppage at the end of a very impressive display all round. A dominant English welterweight champion defends his title in style.
What a response there from Noakes. The previous round wasn't such a good round, and responded in the right manner there. Went through the gears, caught him with a lovely right hand there, and again. And Osbourne-Edwards was in trouble here. Gets him in the corner. Tough kid, Osbourne-Edwards. But look at Noakes really going for it. Referee's looking. Couple of shots, one more, and the referee jumps in, and quite rightly so. Went through the gears and turned it around in that round. Good performance from Sean Noakes.
Good performance also in that moment from the referee, Chris Jones. Lots of hard lessons learned tonight by Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards in championship class. Slow start, behind surely on the cards, we'll find out soon enough. Sam's in there celebrating with his big brother. Big brother looked really impressive for most of the early rounds. Maybe went off the boil a little bit. There were moments of encouragement. Osbourne-Edwards does have the potential, that's clear. Needs to go away and work on his strengths and nullify some of the weaknesses. But Sean Noakes looks more and more like a championship fighter, Echo, beyond 10-round level. Would you agree with that?
I think, yeah, he possibly could. He definitely picked his moment in this fight to be the shark. He smelt blood, and he definitely was a shark about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes 7 seconds of round 8, your referee has stopped the contest. He deemed Jermaine Osbourne-Edwards was in no position to continue. The winner and the English welterweight champion from Maidstone, Kent, Sean Noakes.